Good morning, friends. Myself Jayesh Hazare, Assistant Professor, PG Department of Zoology, NH College, Brahmapuri. Today we have to start the introduction of the syllabus under choice-based credit system that has been by Gondwana University, Gadchiroli for BSc SEM third, and the paper is Physiology and Biochemistry 1. So we just move to the next slide. As you can see, there are numerous system that we have to understand under this. First of all, we basically understand the scheme of the semester third in BSc. There you have to go through two paper. The first paper will be animal diversity, which you have to understand about the chordates and their comparative anatomy, which will have a credit to. Then the second paper is of physiology and biochemistry. Similarly, the first paper, it does also have credit too. And after that, the practical on both paper, that is paper 1 animal diversity and the paper 2 physiology and biochemistry. Beside these two core paper, you also have SEC paper, that is skill enhancement course, that is of environmental science or the environmental studies that you have to go through within this semester itself. Then we need to go to the core paper that I have to go through with your syllabus. That will be the physiology and biochemistry one. It is very much important to understand physiology and biochemistry because physiology is a science pertaining to the functions of the body, or the physiological functions of the body, or the operatings of the different systems present in your body. And the later part is the biochemistry, what will be the biochemical reactions that is happen inside your body, and that will we understand under the head of biochemistry. So what exactly in the unit first? That unit first is comprises metabolism. That metabolism, by and large, we have to complete within the 12 period, plus minus whatever it may be. So that will finish within that stipulated period of time. The first topic that you have to understand under the head metabolism is the carbohydrate metabolism. We need to understand what exactly is the word metabolism is. The metabolism is nothing but anabolism and catabolism. These are the two important processes that is comes under the word metabolism. Anabolism is generation of energy, and catabolism is the utilization of that energy from in the process of anabolism, which will be ultimately in importance showing and operating the physiology of the body, or what we can say the normal physiology of the body. So this word metabolism is very much important because normal metabolism will lead to the normal physiology and healthy life. So under the head of carbohydrates, that will be your first topic. You need to understand glycolysis, gluconeogenesis, glycogen metabolism. Then the second topic is protein. Within that protein is transamination, deamination, and the urea cycle is the second topic. The third topic will be lipid metabolism, where you have to understand the biosynthesis of triglycerides. Now we just have a look around of the carbohydrate metabolism. Within that carbohydrate metabolism, glycolysis is one of the most important process. Each and everybody knows about this. What is that glycolysis? Glycolysis is nothing but the breakdown of the glucose, and within that breakdown of the glucose, the number of energy factors being synthesized, and one of the most important energy factor that will be synthesized within this glycolysis is ATP, or what we can say adenosine triphosphate. The overall rate of glycolysis is the production of 7-ATP. That will be discussed when we go through this topic under the glycolysis. And after that glycolysis, water with the 7-ATP, and the last product of in the aerobic condition, that is pyruvate. In anaerobic condition, there is another product that is known as lactate. So when that pyruvate is formed, that pyruvate will enter into a PDH complex that is known as the pyruvate dehydrogenase complex, that is present within the mitochondria, and that mitochondrial PDH complex will ultimately lead to the production of acetyl CoA, and that acetyl CoA will lead into the another system or another reaction in the cell that is known as the TCA cycle, which overall completes the energy formations within the body. So that will be understood within the glycolysis. The next is gluconeogenesis. So that gluconeogenesis, the word is gluco. Gluco means glucose, neo means new, genesis means synthesis. So gluconeogenesis means the synthesis of new glucose, which is an exactly opposite reaction to that of the glycolysis that we just seen. Glycolysis start from the glucose, and gluconeogenesis start from the pyruvate, which is the end product of glycolysis. So exactly is the reverse reaction, but that reverse reaction is just not the same as the flow of glycolysis up to the pyruvate. There are three reactions which are actually pacemaker reactions of the gluconeogenesis, which does have to complete in a altered manner. So we'll understand when we uh, move into the topic in the detailed way. So gluconeogenesis is the formation of glucose, and that only happen when your body is starved of glucose or blood glucose level is very low. In that condition only this reaction operates. The last topic under the head of carbohydrate metabolism is glycogen metabolism. Now glycogen is a very important stored source of energy that is particularly present within the muscles of our body or any other animal. So when body gets starved up, if body you fear doesn't have meal for a longer period of time, particularly say at least for 7 and 8 hours you doesn't have any kind of a meal or any kind you doesn't consume any kind of food sources, then your body starts feeling lethargic, and in that condition to meet the energy, that glycogen metabolism takes place, synthesis of glycogen when your body is full of with glucose in your blood, and if there is less number of glucose or the blood glucose level decline sharply, in that condition that glycogen will ultimately leads to the formation of glucose, and from there the glycolysis and an energy demand will be met. So these three topics, that is glycolysis, gluconeogenesis and glycogen metabolism, will understand when we go through this carbohydrate metabolism. The second topic we need to think about the protein, which is another important macromolecules present in your body. So that is a building block. That protein is synthesized after the process of transcription and the translation from the DNA. The translation particularly takes place within the cytoplasm of the cell, and after that that protein will be utilized for different physiological, because that protein itself an important operator of physiology in all organisms of this universe, right from the viruses to the bacteria, and from bacteria up to the developed mammals. So this protein is very much important. Now within this protein we have to understand transamination, deamination and the urea cycle. Transamination is nothing but the transfer of amino group, which is an important ingredient of the protein. Then the deamination is process is the removal of amino group from the protein exchange. And lastly we need to think about the urea cycles. It's the formation of urea within your body, how that urea is formed, that there are two amino groups attached to the urea cycle, from where these are actually come from, which amino acid is actually contributing to the urea. We need to understand about arginine and ornithine cycle, because these are the two important amino acid which are actually contributing to the formation of urea within the animal. So these three topics, transamination, deamination, and the urea cycle. And lastly, within the first unit, the another topic that is known as the lipid metabolism. And within that lipid metabolism, you only need to understand about the biosynthesis of the triglycerides. Now, this biosynthesis of triglycerides is very much important, because if the triglyceride doesn't synthesize in your body, because carbohydrate will provide only a limited amount of energy to your body, that the maximum amount of energy or the huge amount of energy or the huge amount of energy resources will be in the form of triglycerides uh, resource that is present in your body, will provide huge amount of energy to you. So this biosynthesis of triglyceride, how actually it is get synthesized in your body, will under the head of the lipid metabolism. Then the second unit is of enzyme. That enzyme, how it actually works in your body, what is enzymes, what they do in your body, what could be the possible definition of enzymes. Now you all understand chemistry very well, and you know the one word that is known as the catalyst. That catalyst, what they do in a chemical reactions, as you all people understand, and you know about these things. These catalysts are very much important in enhancing the rate of any chemical reaction. Similarly, these enzymes, without whatever be their nature, is important in enhancing the rate of biochemical reaction. Now, what is that biochemical reaction? Is an important word. Biochemicals means those chemical reactions which are actually happening inside the organism's body. So these are biochemical reactions, and which are key reactions for the physiology of that particular organism. And those key reactions will be operated wholly by enzymes in most of the cases. So these enzymes are nothing but biocatalyst, which enhances the rate of biochemical reactions. In a simple definition, so within that enzymes, we need to understand the general properties of enzymes, what these enzymes are, whatever be their natures, that we need to understand how enzymes are evolved during the course of evolution, right from the beginning of the earth and up to today's, up to the recent days, the enzymes are still evolving. So we just know to understand key what are their properties, what kind of enzymes are there. Then the second head is classification of enzymes, how these enzymes are classified, how they get nomenclaturized, how they named. There are different types of enzymes, particularly ASE is a suffix which is been particularly been utilized for the enzymes, most of the enzymes. But there are certain enzymes just like pepsin and other, or the ancient enzyme chymotrypsin. So these enzymes does have different kind of nomenclature system, and in according to their reaction or the mode of actions, there are different types of the enzymes out there. So that will also understand. Third is the distribution and chemical nature of the enzyme, where these enzymes are present in your body, where they are present in the cells, what kind of reactions they are actually operating, particularly biochemical reaction as we should say, and what are the chemical nature of that enzyme. Particularly, they are proteins in most of the organism, but there are certain enzymes which are of nucleic acid in nature, and that is not DNA, RNA in nature. So we'll understand what this chemical nature of the enzymes also. Then the last one is the factors affecting enzyme activity. There are certain factors which are actually stop the enzymatic reaction, or there are certain factors which enhances the enzymatic reaction and certain optimize the enzymatic reactions. So these factors are very much important: pH, temperature, pressure. So we'll understand the effect of all these things on the enzymes.